Good morning, guys. It's Friday. Super cool, right? Friday's our favorite. Although lately every day feels like Friday, kind of. Sorry about the sun. It's kind of shining in the window from time to time. Yeah, it's Friday. I'm trying something different today. I've posted a PDF of some Pythagorean theorem doodle notes on Google Classroom. I don't know how many of you guys have printers, but I really enjoyed the doodle notes. And even if you don't have a printer, you could still watch the video because I will teach you about Pythagorean theorem. But if you have a printer and you have some colored pencils, this could be super fun. Okay, it's Friday, April 10th. Remember that we have modified the schedule. So for today, you're just going to be finishing the quiz you may or may not have started yesterday on the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. And then next week, we'll do how to find a missing hypotenuse. In the meantime, I have some Pinterest. Thanks to the quarantine, this haircut is about to make a comeback. I don't know how many of you have had to have your mom cut your hair. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait. When a song has different parts playing at the same time and you try to sing all of them. Yeah, I know you guys do that. I don't sing. I know I can't sing. When everyone finally starts to dislike the person that you had a bad feeling about all along, there's not bad people out there. What am I saying? School gets canceled. My sleep schedule. Now it's time to get funky. It is interesting. I've been getting a lot of sleep. I notice I've been getting almost 8 hours sleep every night. So although I miss you guys dearly, I really like getting sleep. Okay, so for today's doodle notes, we're just going to do the front of the doodle notes. It's actually a 2-page document. It was meant to be front to back, but of course most of your printers would probably print it in 2 pages. But here we have the front, and wish me luck doing this with this drawing thing because this thing's really hard to draw. It's going to take some serious effort on my part. All right, so I want to do this in pretty colors. So there we go. All right, the Pythagorean theorem is for, come on, pen, where are you? Finding, I should probably type, this would probably do a better job, right? Finding a missing side length on a right triangle. Triangle. I knew this was going to be a challenge with this doodle pad here. Pythagoras was a Greek guy. I'm going to try to shorten this. A Greek guy who invented the Pythagorean theorem. Greek guy who invented the Pythagorean theorem. And theorem. Okay, so you see these boxes down here. What the Pythagorean theorem says, it says that if you have a right triangle and you square the lengths of the 2 legs, the 2 shortest sides, you will get the square of the longest side. And so they kind of wanted you to color this in. If I color in this one here in red, like so, and come over here and color this one in red. Just notice I'm coloring in a 3 by 3 because this other thing over here was a 3 by 3. Okay, and then if I switch to another color, like say for example blue, switch to blue. Okay, if I switch to blue and color this one in all in blue, this is a 4 by 4. There are 16 squares here. What you'll realize is that there are 16 uncolored squares in this one. If you were to count them all, there would be 16. Because all of the squares in this box and all the squares in this box added together equal the squares in this box. That's the Pythagorean theorem. Over here, label the legs and the hypotenuse. The legs are always the 2 sides that make the right angle. So that's a leg, and that's a leg. Well, I guess I don't need legs. This is the hypotenuse. The longest side is always the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay. So, example 1 says a right isosceles triangle has legs 6 meters long. Find the length of the hypotenuse to the nearest tenth of a meter. Okay, so now this is a pretty high level doodle notes. Yeah, I don't need to write that. Let me get rid of that. This is a pretty high level doodle notes in that it's calling for you to use, to go right into rounding and decimal values. But it says a right isosceles there has 2 6 meters long. So what that means is we're doing leg squared plus other leg squared equals the hypotenuse, we'll call it C squared. Okay, remember leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So then we would go 36 plus 36 equals C squared. And this would be 72 equals C squared. And then we have to put this into a calculator because 72 is not a perfect square. It's going to give us a decimal that needs rounded. And so it's approximately equal to 8.5, was this, meters? Pretty cool? I think so. What do we have down here on the bottom? Get the page to move up. All right, there's our theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And here's what the letters represent. Remember I told you, come on, right? Leg squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse. Don't worry, I'm not going to write the whole word. Squared. Okay? So over here, we have another example, a drawing, and they want you to find the length of this leg. Okay, this is going to be a challenge. We're not even doing this next week. Next week, we're finding the hypotenuse. But finding a leg can be done too. What it looks like when you go to find a leg, you say, okay, we always have to have the leg squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So in this case, we're missing a leg. It's the pirate way, right? Missing a leg. Yeah, okay, never mind. So you would go ahead and square these two numbers. 8 squared is 64, and 13 squared is 169. Okay. Now, how do we figure out what x is? Well, we solve for x. It's a variable. We can get it by itself by subtracting 64 from both sides. When we do that, we end up with x squared equals 105. Okay? In order to find out what x is, we take the square root of both sides. Oh, I just wrote it all over my 1. And we'll find in this case that x is approximately, rounded to the nearest tenth, 10.2 feet. I know, my handwriting is pretty messy. I bet your doodle notes look a lot better than mine. But that's all of this I was going to do for today. I plan to do the back of the worksheet on Monday. Okay? And in the meantime, if you have any questions, I'm always available during regular school hours. If you email me, I have a Google Voice thing. I could give you that number. My Google Voice number. I'll give it to you. All right. Google Voice number is 937-470-7668. You can call me on that number or text me. All right? So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Okay. Bye now.